Hi, good morning. So, are you in your 20s or your 30s? I've got news for you. No, we're not age mates because I look like a small girl. I'm 58, so I guess I do earn the right to be able to advise you. I keep looking and listening, and from counseling so many of you, I realize that it's not your fault. In the first place, it's how life is been arranged to be. Because, when we have kids from the time they're 18, we monitor them a lot, and then they're 20, especially some of you, most of you that are educated or into business, and you come, bring the gift and give us good words, and we see that you're not on drugs, and we somehow let down our guards as parents, believing that the biggest loopholes in life or dangerous roads have been crossed. It's a lie. If you are in your 20s and your 30s this morning, I want you to begin thinking deeper, weighing options, and don't run into what your friends are doing. You are at the most risks because you are a plate, an open plate, empty plate that many in the world will recruit, will use. You know, those are times when you take decisions that backfire, or times when you really feel the depth of failure in life. And you have different people coming at you saying that they want to save you, deliver you, give you advices, go into this business, do that, join this group, go to that church, and call this prophet, and you get all kinds of advices. Because in your 20s and 30s are actually the proof of the remember I said half of the foundations that you've been laying since you were a teenager. And now there's no father, no mother, no gatekeepers, unless the ones that you allow into your lives. Even as parents, to talk to you begins to be a little awkward, except it's a bold parent or a rich, very rich parent that you're still getting money from. But if by the time you're 20 or 30s, your parents are like in their late 60s or early 60s, and you begin to disregard their efforts and how they got there, you begin to think that you're something special and that you can do better than them. And I pray that you do. But when you're in your 20s and your 30s, are the most delicate part of your life, where you recognize what success is and you get so fearful of what failures are. Be careful the churches you go to. Anytime they tell you to come and invest through churches, you should run. Religion is religion. I know that there are things that you can do with your money, but the church has become a trap for a lot of people. It takes a lot of wisdom. You actually need to be praying as you leave home for God to preserve your mind, your life, not just from the things you may see on the way or the dangers that you may encounter, but from the words that are coming out from your pastors, so they don't brainwash you. I will always tell you, be conscious, because I am. A lot of the people that you see that are in suits and cleaned up, you always think that people who go to herbalists and spiritualists and are using dark powers along with what they preach are the people that look like they didn't go to school or they're illiterate. But these days, packaging is killing everybody. People are so well packaged that you will think they don't even use the restrooms. We are Africans, especially. You have to, even if you don't believe in them. Well, why are you praying? What are you fighting? What is all the powers and all the spiritual powers in high places that you are praying against? If you don't believe that there are witches, wizards, and people who have audacity, boldness, and will preach at you, preach to you, talk to you, and derail you from your whole focus. What do you think? Well, why are you wasting your time? Why don't you just go through life and not pray at all? Anybody that has ever said a prayer indirectly, that's why I always say that God will be to blame for nothing that we do. Anybody that has ever said a prayer already acknowledges that there are two worlds, at least if you don't see the 27th other ones. Be careful. There are a lot of churches right now in England, especially in America and all places that are waiting to use you. You know, a lot of them cannot function well in Nigeria outside of asking their members to sell their properties and bring their goods and all that stuff, or go get children for rituals or sexually molest them. But a lot of cult-like groups call themselves churches and religious affiliations, and what they have expertized in this modern world, Canada, Germany, London, US, is the banking system. When I tell you, I say money now at the bottom of everything we do as human beings. And I go, one day abuse me. Make now they calm down. These churches will ask you to go get loans. They will tell you they want to prosper in a different way. It's all about prosperity by investing in your pastors without written note. No collateral, as in legalities that can preserve you. You go use your credit line. You use your name to go get a loan for a church that your pastor was not part of, that you will end up paying. Can you imagine 19-year-olds owing up to £6,000 because the pastor and his minions have used her name to go get loans? Somebody says, I can pay tithe. I don't have that kind of money now. And they said, don't worry, we will put you through the system. And they did. But when she got to the government office and they'd given her a code, anytime you have a code, it is not to share with any other person, especially when it is not a member of your family, outside of the code to unlock your security system or your door that you live in. Anytime you give an outsider your code, you have to go back and change it for your own safety, let alone the code where that is what you would use to process your qualification for loan. A church. Before you know it, this 19-year-old girl had been in the system, entered in as with 2 children so they could pull out loans. What is the business of the church with my bank account? I'm just asking. What is the business of the pastor of any church in the world with my bank account, outside of the fact that you want to write me a check to go and put into it? Why would you tell me to go get a loan? Who is going to pay it back in this system? So I just wanted to let you parents know, it is not enough to just sit down and let your children be blessing you and think that they're doing so well. A lot of these kids, I still call them children because they know everything but don't know much. They have wives and husbands, yes. Unfortunately, bringing up children too. They are strong in certain areas like we are, and not strong in some other areas just like we are. Life is not a master it one time and go home happy. It is a daily work of scrutiny, of admonishment, of correction, of encouragement. As human beings, we cannot just leave these people. Anytime you see your child buy a new car, buy a new house, do something wonderful, come in looking sad, or join a new venture, you have to call them secretly. I do it. I know sometimes it makes my children sick, but I do it. They will not be in jail for being used to defraud others or taking loans that they can't pay up, and they will ever be able to blame me that it was my mother, or if not for my mother, no. I am telling you. And these kids are not as wise as we think they are. They will live in your house, eat your food. All you need to do is touch their t-shirt that they bought for 250, or the slippers that they wear, or they bought for 150, and they will tell you, Mom, please, I love you, but this is not an ordinary slippers. This is not a flip-flop. That's the children that they are. They will learn in time, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how your children, how you that are the children in your 20s and 30s are the biggest dumping ground for all kinds of crazy ideas, lasciviousness, being used, being defrauded, being used as a weapon, used to take loans, steal, join groups and gangs. It's in your 20s and your 30s. See, when you were 17, 18, 19, 20, you are and teenagers, and some of you have been on drugs. Some of you have been known to steal. Some of you have gone to jail and come back. Some of you are part of gangs trying to get away. And then somebody that says they are a church specifically said God has led him or her to fight for God members and get you out. Don't you know that the biggest, most dangerous favors to get is that from that one person that is your only hope, your only outlet? You would look at your life initially, it's like the pyramid scheme. You will say, if not for this person, I wouldn't have. The first month will go right, second month will go right, and then the third month, they will begin to approach you. Use your name to get a loan. Why don't you do this? There's a man somewhere that says he likes you. It is the people that has helped us, that has saved our lives, that have been there when nobody else could, that when they get desperate, will come back to use all the people that they have once been helpful for. Nobody is a one-time do it right, perfect, done. We all have to be watching each other's hands, watching each other's footprints and waka, so that we do not get lost. Don't idolize anybody. Don't put them on pedestals, no matter how much they have helped you in the past, because the salvation of your soul and your freedom from governmental accountability will always be yours. She made me do it. He made me do it. Do you believe I believed I was brainwashed? We know there's something called brainwashing. I'm a nurse. I know how if you listen to somebody for long enough, you want to begin to talk like them. You like what you see, but don't be fooled. Make sure that as you want to talk like them, you are also ready to suffer in the places that they have suffered. The stories that I'm reading on, right, I'm not altogether a social media person. I have my presence there, but I check other areas, do other researches to realize that our 20s and 30-year-olds are in trouble. They think they know everything. They think they're too big to ask for help. They think they're too, instead they go to one of their friends that is just as foolish as they are. And those friends will begin to advise them from hidden jealousies. They don't wish themselves well. But you will run and tell me how your wife slept with one of our friends, how they fired you from work, how you are desperate and they will advise you to go steal from the bank or steal a loan, or this person did it like this, or let me take you to my mother. And the parent, their parent that they're taking you to, will take all your glory and give it to their sons. Learn to go back home. No matter how useless your parents are or how failed that you think they are. Money is not judgment of success. It is just a weight of exposure of how comfortable you are. But there are lots of parents that are not half as rich as their children, but are as wise, and they realize that if that child makes it, they will get a second chance to ride on the waves of the successes of their children. Our parents will always be the ones that have the most to lose, especially if it is in a monogamous relationship where it's not like your father got every single girl in town pregnant. So you have competition because he just might have a heart for another wife that is not your mother. Either way, if you are seeking advice, make sure you are seeking, probably even stopping a stranger that appears to be a little wise and getting a neutral opinion, because the advices that we are given has to be finalized and concluded as acceptable and usable by us. We are still the ones that would have to measure if it fits into our lives. For me to take the advice you're giving me is because I believe I will benefit from there. So that means that your belief in advising me and my belief in receiving it have aligned, and so it becomes my responsibility for executing those advice that you give me. Again, if you're in your 20s and your 30s, be very careful. These are the ages where you actually laid the final block for how well your life will be in another 20 years, another 30 years. Bless you, darling. Your life is your own. Bless you. But for the sake of your children and your spouses that you're having now, for the sake that I'm a mother too and want the best for my son, I have to call us all to order and attention. And when you get home today, think about the kinds of friends that you're keeping. As an adult and a neutral person that has no affiliation or group outside of my professionalism, my professional associations, my old school associations, reunions that we do once in 2-3 years that I go, we have fun, we talk, and that's it. I don't keep up with most of them, not because I think I'm better, but because life has given me perhaps a larger, bigger worry. But I'm telling you, when you're 20s and 30s, there are lots of bullets that you can dodge. Lots of bullets that you can dodge. You are just ripe enough for all the cult members, all the godfathers, all the wicked minds in the world to take under their wings. Not just sending you out to do dangerous jobs for them. I know. Kiss grandma. Kiss, kiss. Yes. Yes. Please. 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 Think twice. Anybody that tells you to bring money, money is not easy to recover. It's not. Before you put that money down, ask somebody that is not part of your group. Because what they do is they seclude you and remove you from the people that can advise you. And they make you depend totally on them. And you're thinking, well, if they cared about me, where were they when I was suffering? Where were they when I didn't have work? Where were they when I was homeless? These people gave me a place to stay. These people gave me a job. These people offered me an escape from the gang. These people took me away from drugs. Yes. The best way to enjoy is to save somebody that was dying. And then when they're whole in their minds, you begin to use them for your own much evil project. They can't take damaged goods to send. No, they have to clean you up first, so they can wear suits for you and push you into the banking sector and the financial world for you to bring them money. A lot of people take care of one another like chickens on a farm so that they can enjoy the delicacy tomorrow. Be coming down. Your life is not your friends. And yes, people have a right to help us like God helps them. And there's still a sense of entitlement in that. But if you help me just so that you can misuse me and derail me for life, then you didn't help me. You helped yourself. And when I leave you, I won't look back and I won't be looked as ungrateful. It will be an escape from a demon. And God would have used you to clean me up so that I can be useful to myself and think clearly. Just because people help us doesn't mean they turn us into thieves and prostitutes and frauds and senseless human beings. You can still say no. Yes, you lose the privileges, and you don't have to say it at once. You can say it while you're looking for a route of escape. Like I said, God says he'll lay a table before us in the presence of our enemies. Not so we can put our fingers in their eyes or be all emotional and spoil everything and then expose ourselves to dangers that could be bigger than that where we're coming from. No, sometimes he'll show you those things so that you can have the time to develop your brain and plan strategies of escape. You don't have to take action now. You don't have to do it now. Have the tolerance, develop your brain to withhold your words and to cover your anger while you're looking for routes of escape. I just thought you should know that everything that you're keeping will still come out in the open. And the saddest thing is, government anywhere in the world cannot hold people accountable if they don't have enough proof against them. So it is your credit line that is destroyed. It is your life that is unsettled. It is your reputation that is marred. And it's your chances that are disrupted. People that are asking you or telling you, let's go into something, let's do something together, but they have no accountability. The government cannot trace their footprints in the many things that you have done. I said, my pastor said I should go and come and lend him 30,000. Did he sign a note for me that he sent me to go and take the 30,000? No, he didn't. I now, out of zeal and foolishness, I didn't ask my mother if that was how pastors should do it. I didn't even mention it to somebody at work to see what their opinion could be. They don't know each other, so they won't be telling one another anything. But you would have been able to sound the idea on so many different places and people that are not affiliated to your source of distress or concern. That person of particular concern. So, be careful. If you're in your 20s and your 30s, know that these are the ages where the world will use you, push you into things that you will never recover from, especially from financial ruin. Be very careful. Money is not everything, but the Bible says that money answereth everything. And your stability financially now is what will determine when you're 40, 50, 60, able to put huge money down to do businesses without anybody's name on it, something that you will use. I don't know where church says they want to begin to do Christianity in a different way. So all these pastors bring in ideas, and they are pyramid ideas. They are not like, this is, hi darling, high five. Yeah, this is not, they sell this thing here for 50,000. I saw it on Amazon. Then my pastor brings it to church and I can verify that it's the same original, the same function, and he's going to sell it to us for 35,000. They never do that. They never. They go join buddies with some foreign company and they tell you, put this amount down and go and get 50 people, get 30 people. Their residual income will not, they say, not go make money without product. The only thing you can do is you buy from them and use it to display for them. They incur no losses, no responsibilities, no accountability. You are the ones. And you think it is ordinary high. All these pastors are using voodoo. They are using spiritual powers to manipulate their members. They are. Because I don't see why you will not value your own life. You will value your pastor's life more. You don't value your children, value your marriages, value anything. It's always running. You are serving your pastors together with God, and he doesn't like that. Yes, he says we should acknowledge his so-called men of God and give them the respect they deserve, and some of them do, but those who do will tell you, no, don't bow to me like that. I'm just a human being like you. Show the respect, yes, but no, don't worship me. Let us together worship God. It is well with you. It is well with you. What they are showing you is what you call their real faces. But what I see in the spirit, that's what I see. And nobody will be blamed but you. The only way the government anywhere in the world, especially in advanced countries, can hold them accountable is to be exposed by Deadline, BBC, and so it kicks off some investigative algorithm. But by then, it will just be exposure. You will never get compensated for your wasteful, stupid ventures and investments. Don't go get a loan for any pastor's behalf. He carries the dream, his children own his assets, and he leaves his inheritance to them. Greed, covetousness, lack of belief in yourselves, inabilities to realize that it is hard to make it from step 1 to 2. What you want to use the money for.
It's not what it is meant for. Yes, I see it. People that have left from here, gone to open up big places in Nigeria. It's hard to see them on social media and not have a twinge of anger, but let it be anger, not covetousness crossing over, and you begin to contact them. They will use you in a way you never expect. It is not easy to make it on one's own, but who are you intending to collaborate with? And who are you collaborating with? It matters. It's not all collaborations that are innocent. Not all. I just thought I'll remind you that even at 58, I'm still learning by watching. These days, most people don't have the guts to come advise me, but I learn from their lives. I learn from their systems. They're not pushing it down my throat. I learn. Until we die, we will learn. And it's a general principle that is major, the core of life. The day we stop to learn is the day we start to die. Even 1 minute at 150 and a second from the grave. Your girl, Elizabeth Adela Shuti. Ariel.